there's a word competition, and the root meaning of competition comes from Latin competire, and competire it really means striving together towards a common goal. And so that's what we want to embrace here, is that we're all, as different companies in the area, municipalities, support educational institutions, state agencies, we're all nonprofits, we're all striving together towards a common goal, which is to help get people into our industry and develop their careers. So that's why we're here. That's the spirit of what we're doing. And so before I go ahead and do the intros, I just wanted to kind of go over that and remind everybody here that some of the strategic objectives that we've identified for our sector partnership are, of course, to continue to support arborist apprenticeship in the state and through our partnership with Front Range Community College. We've also identified being active with industry events and career fairs, which is something, appreciate David Merriman for showing up and supporting a career fair the other week. And then we also want to engage with programs like the pre-apprenticeship, which, really we're identifying as this great, top of the funnel that will hopefully lead to more people finding careers with our businesses and our institutions. So before I get any further into that, I'd like to just do a round robin of introductions. I'll start with myself, Josh Morin. I own and run We Love Trees. We're a really small local tree care company based out of Niwot. And I have registered apprenticeship, and I have one apprentice who is started this year in the program. And I'm just really excited about the meeting. And I will choose next Amanda Miller. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Amanda Miller, and I'm with the Place Setting Company. Nikki and I work to support the partnership behind the scenes. So we support the leadership team and work with all the different groups that help pull together apprenticeships and all the pieces to make your work successful. Nikki is not able to join us today. She's at a board retreat with another group that she actually volunteers for. And so I'm here today to just help guide the conversation and make sure we stay on track and support Josh. So thanks, Josh. Would you like me to call in somebody next, or do you want to manage the? Okay, perfect. I'm going to just move next to the square on my screen, and that is Kat Plaza. So Kat, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Kat Plaza. I am a statewide registered apprenticeship consultant. So I'm here to help you with your registered apprenticeships being successful and also getting them registered and hopefully easing any parts of that process as necessary. And Michael Nays.
Sorry about that. Let's see, my name is Mike Nays. I'm on the board of the Park People. I'm happy to be here. I'm also own and operate DLC Arbor Services. So I'm kind of serving two roles here, I think, maybe. That's it. And how about Mike Earl? He has the same problem I had.
Muted, Mike.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Earl. I joined the Colorado Tree Care Sector Partnership Board this year in hopes that we could start to bring the arborist training to the mountain region. I live in Eagle, Colorado. I own a arboriculture business of 35 employees servicing the Vail Valley. And I'd like to ask Kim, you're next.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Mike. My name is Kim Yuen Farrell. I'm the executive director of the Park People. And I think I've been in these meetings once or two other times, but I've had the privilege of speaking with a number of you over the past year. And so really just happy to be here with you all. Our other staff members have told me some of your other names as we've been learning from a lot of you. So really excited to be here with you today. Thanks a bunch. And I will go to David Merriman.
Hello, I'm David Merriman with Arborist. I've been with the apprenticeship program for a while. I have a couple of apprentices that work for me, and I am here to help push along this program the best that I can. And let's see, I will go with Kat. Oh wait, she's already done it. So, the next one would be Brian Dalton, I think.
Great, thank you. I am here thanks to Josh's invitation. I am Brian Dalton, the Director of Training and Credentialing for the Tree Care Industry Association. And we are responsible for really authoring the related learning that is used for the apprenticeship program. So happy to be here and listen in. I'm going to stick with the name Brian, especially since it's also with a Y, Brian McCoy.
Hi everyone, I'm Brian McCoy, the City Forester here in Westminster. My role in this is just helping provide trees for the instruction to actually take place on. So a lot of these trainings will take place in Westminster parks on our trees. And happy to help in any other way I can. And let's see, Madeline, have you gone?
No, I haven't. Thanks, Brian. So I'm Madeline. I'm the Urban Forestry Workforce Development Manager with the Park People, and really excited to be here. It's a great turnout today, and you'll be hearing from me in a little while. Let's see. Megan.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Megan Townsend. My husband and I own Altitude Arborist in Broomfield, Colorado. We were not able to swing an apprenticeship this year, but we are excited to be hopefully working with the park people to participate in the pre-apprenticeship later this year. Pretty exciting stuff. So thanks. And I will choose Kelly.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So Kelly Goosh, I am the district manager here for Save a Tree in Colorado. And we have a number of apprentices in different cohorts of the program. And so always excited to continue to invest in the workforce in Colorado. And so I will go ahead and ask for Zach to introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Zach Clark Lee. I'm the container production manager for the Colorado State Forest Service Nursery. I know it's a mouthful, but more importantly for this meeting, I'm also the volunteer coordinator. So we are very interested in what Madeline had to say about the program and interested in giving back any way that we can. We are tasked with growing hundreds of thousands to millions of trees for conservation. But the biggest thing is that we are a firm believer here. If you have the ability to help, you have the responsibility to do so. So we wanted to see what this program was about and see how we could help. Let's see here. Call on Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. Great to see you today. Just wanted to, thank the Tree Care Sector Partnership for this partnership opportunity and the ability to present here today. I'm with the Park People. I am the program manager here and working alongside Madeline and Kim. So thanks so much. I'll pass it on to Catherine Scully.
Hi, everybody. I'm Catherine Scully. I'm with Front Range Community College, and I'm the Assistant Director of Academic Services, and I oversee the Prior Learning Assessment Program. And I will pass it on to Lynn Bosler.
Hi, everybody. Lynn Bosler with Front Range Community College, oversee the related learning arborist apprenticeship piece and hearing other things in the background. Just want to thank again, Save a Tree, who has saved our life as far as helping with equipment and instructors. Thank you to all the instructors who are also on the line who helped make our program really successful, and to the City of Westminster for providing space for us to do that, and all of you who help with equipment and bring students to the program. Sorry, let me see who hasn't gone. Kim, have you already introduced yourself?
I did already go.
All right, sorry, I've lost track. Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin Marks with Davy Tree for Colorado. Just seeing what we can do here to help and find out what's cooking. Doug, have you gone yet? You're muted, Doug.
I thought I was doing so well here. I was trying to remember all the names of people that have gone. I'm Doug Schock. I'm with the Office of the City Forester for City and County of Denver. I've been with the city for 24 years. I oversee the Be a Smartash program and the educational programming for the City and County of Denver for the program side. And I will pass it along to Ebony.
Ebony told me that she's having issues with her audio, but I could just briefly introduce her. I don't know if she's actually in the meeting at the moment, but she is from American Forest, and she's been working alongside a few other representatives from their organization to work on a pre-apprenticeship curriculum guide for kind of pre-apprenticeship programs nationwide in tree care. So they're just here to answer any questions you'll have about that. And it's really awesome that they're here today. So really take advantage of if you have any questions about that. Feel free to ask them if they come back.
Great. And Madeline, to help you, I'm going to ask if you have your camera on and you haven't been introduced yet, if you'll just do a quick wave, that'll help us as we try to capture everyone. It looks like Laurel, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi there, I'm Laurel Davies, and I'm a brand new member of the Park People Board of Trustees, and so glad to be here.
Thank you. And then Randy, looks like you had popped on camera just for a moment. Hey, Randy.
Hi. Randy Grady with Treetop. I do human resources, and we have been involved in the apprenticeship program for a few years now.
Thank you. And Vincent, good morning. You want to say hello to the group?
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Vince Aquino with University of Colorado Boulder. I run the forestry program for facilities operations. And I've been kind of keeping tabs on this group for a while, kind of through Josh, and just keeping an eye on things, but haven't participated much. But I'm looking forward to hear some more about the program. So thanks, everybody.
Great. Glad to have you here. Ebony, Madeline was able to do a quick introduction for you. It looks like Tiffany, you have also just hopped on. Do you want to say hello to the group?
Sure. My name is Tiffany Muratek. I am the Senior Manager of Career Pathways at American Forests, and I'm really excited. I've been chatting with the Park People folks about just some of the great work that they've been doing in preparing for their pre-apprenticeship program, and we're just excited to support and see how we can help. So thanks for having us.
Great, thanks. And Ebony, hi, we can see you now on screen. Do you want to say a quick hello?
Hi, hello. Yeah, I was having some audio issues, but glad to be here. I am also from American Forest. I am the Senior Manager of Urban Forestry Education.
Thank you. And I think finally we have Cheryl Gallegos and then Adrian Camacho on as well. Cheryl, are you able to say hello?
I think I have, can you hear me? I think I have.
Yes, we can hear you.
Audio, but I don't have video. My name is Cheryl Gallegos. I'm actually the Employment and Training Navigator for Adult Parole. I just kind of came across this the other day, so I just wanted to see what the pre-apprenticeship and programming is all about.
Great, thank you for being here. And then Adrian, can you say hi to the group?
Adrian Camacho. I'm I'm a forestry superintendent for the city of Aurora, and I've helped with the Arborist Apprenticeship and just generally around the tree care sector partnership. All right.
Great, thank you. And Josh, I think we caught everyone. Did we miss anyone? Wave your hand or raise your Zoom hand if you were missed. We have an incredible group here today, so thank you all. And I think so valuable to take the time to say hello to everyone. Building relationships in the industry is a huge goal of the partnership, so important to take the time. Josh, I am able to share the agenda if you'd like me to. I know we want to kind of power through partnership items, but hopefully you all can now see the screen with the partnership agenda.
Yeah, and really appreciate you doing that, Amanda, and really appreciate everyone taking the time to introduce themselves. Hopefully, if you see somebody you want to talk to, you can reach out post meeting. So just an update, I think we're about 12 minutes out to the 10 a.m. start time. So we want to honor that, and I'll just dive right in here into the agenda. Some quick updates on where we are with Arborist Apprenticeship. We have our third cohort, which is our year one Arborist apprentices, have started classes, and we've gone through several classes, and we'll be moving into some more classes post holiday into the winter. We have run into some challenges with attrition with our first and second cohorts. So those are the second and third year apprentices. What we're seeing, which I think is in line with, what we see in our industry, is that people, have either left the program or left their employer, and so our classes have gotten smaller. And so we are in a position where we need to not problem solve, but find a solution for delivering the related learning to the first and second cohorts in a way that's that just meets with everyone's needs. So we're working together on doing that. One of the outcomes that we need to achieve with that is, if we're going to be flexible, we really need every sponsor, so every entity that has registered apprenticeship, to look at implementing or converting to competency-based apprenticeship, because that will then give us the flexibility in terms of delivering the related learning. We're not if we switch from a hybrid model to a competency-based model, the minimum requirement there is 144 hours and 2,000 hours of work. So 144 hours related learning, 2,000 hours of work. And I think anyway, I'll just leave that there. Did anybody have anything else really quickly about the apprenticeship update? I don't know, Lynn, if you had anything else you wanted to say there.
Just, Josh, we should be coming out with, again, we're adjusting the schedule for the second and third year, but we are providing the instruction. We're just going to adjust it, and it won't be quite as many days. We should be coming out with that in just a few days.
Cool. Thanks, Lynn. Appreciate that. I have next on the agenda the overview of the virtual apprenticeship fair. Just probably need to make that quick. Is that you, Kat, that has the update on that?
Yeah, we had 80 job seekers that attended the job fair, and then we also had 32 employers from a variety of different apprenticeship opportunities. It was virtual. We're definitely seeing the trend that people really want to be back in person, and that we're going to be working towards that as we can. The Denver metro area has had more mask mandates, which kind of goes the opposite of where everyone wants to go. But we did find it to be a success. Thank you.
Cool deal. Next topic on there, the committee request to assist with career fair repeatable model. I don't know if anybody had that. I think that really just came out of, David's participation there and some of our past participation in green industry career fairs, and, in David's case, the high school career fair. Does anyone have any updates or things they want to say about that?
I wanted to share that through the statewide workforce center. I did hear some fabulous comments on something that Mike Earl had done. I just chatted with him on the sidebar to make sure it was his organization. But it was the highlight of another K-12 job fair. They said the cool arborist people were there. And from the location, I was guessing it was Mike. So you definitely have an opportunity to make a statewide impact with what you bring to the job fair, the in-person job fairs.
Mike, did you want to speak to that experience?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kat. Eagle County bused every student from 8th grade through 12th grade to the local fairgrounds. And there was probably over 40 businesses there, including all the municipalities and a lot of the home service businesses. And everybody got to set up booths. Like the tile workers were out there letting people cut tile. There were electricians bending pipe and so on and so forth. We actually brought over our mini skid and our track chipper, and we set up a course, and the students actually got to drive the track chipper around the fairgrounds. So they got to play the video game of driving it with a remote control.
Awesome. That sounds like an incredible event. We've got two superstar companies, Arborscape and Old Growth Tree Service, representing our industry. So really appreciate you guys showing up for our future workforce there.
Thanks. We were excited because one of our apprentices that came in this year, who's really on a fast track to we brought him as our person that stood at the booth with our arborists. And so he actually knew the students. And so either he had younger siblings and so we were getting a lot of feedback there. And then outside we had a foreman that runs that track chipper and then somebody else. So we had two booths going at the same time, one inside, one outside. It was great. Thank you guys.
Cool. Thanks, Mike. Anybody have anything else on that? We're going to move on just to some updates. We have about 4 minutes left, I think, before we hop on to the other call. We have our schedule. This really is our meeting from November based on the holidays. So we moved it to early December. And then we won't have another meeting until after the holidays. So in early January, we're going to have our next meeting.
And I will just pop in here, Josh. I think there's intention from the leadership team to do a recorded message, possibly. So the partnership members will be hearing from the partnership, but it just won't be in an interactive way. I think we'll connect and share updates via a recording for you all.
Yeah, and it's on my agenda. I had a talk with Kelly. One of the things we talked about was a communication tool in our leadership team meeting, and looking at getting everybody onto Slack on the leadership team so we can maintain that communication. And then next, one thing on here I want to make sure we don't skip that's valuable, I think, is providing this opportunity for any tree care companies or members of the sector partnership to bring up and discuss, any of their challenges or their needs in this moment. We often hear, it's a great way to hear about people's unique situations or also common challenges that they're facing with hiring people. And so it would open it up to anybody that has something to say here, or a question or anything like that, something they might be looking for help on or just need to share as an idea. Cool. Doesn't sound like anybody has anything. I have two things actually as a business owner. One of my key employees is leaving. He's going to take a municipal job with the city of Fort Collins, and really excited for him because he's identified that for a long time as his career track. And so that's going to open up an opportunity in my business for someone else to move into a leadership role. And I'm really interested in attracting a female crew leader. It's something that I think is underrepresented in our business or our industry. And, I haven't been able to do that up until this point, but I'd really love to see that leadership role be filled by, a female crew leader. So, I just wanted to throw that out there. as something that, I have an intention around in my business. Cool. All right. Well, I think we are we have 3 minutes to go, running through the agenda.
And Josh, I just did want to point out to the group, Kat was able to drop a message into chat. So if you all open chat, Kat has dropped her email in there, and she's able to provide a process on the transition if you do want to move to that competency-based apprenticeship. So Kat is a great resource for all of those steps.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, and the other thing, just a reminder that on the email that Amanda and Nikki sent out, there is a list of people that are interested in Arborist Apprenticeship. If you're looking to access people to contact in terms of positions and interest there. So, all right, we're kind of just wrapping up. Does anybody have anything else before we move on to the park people and discussing the pre-apprenticeship program?
Just one thing.
All right. I heard someone speak, then I saw Megan.
Okay. So just really quickly, I was typing it into the chat, but if there is a need or desire to form or participate in a committee to help kind of centralize our efforts with filling our funnel with the career fairs and such, I'm happy to do so.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Someone else had something to say there?
This is Adrian from City of Aurora. We're going to have another apprenticeship slot open here probably mid-January, mid-December, early January. So just wanted to put that out.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that, Adrian. And yeah, it's totally appropriate if, we're all, looking to solve our workforce needs here. So being aware of what our needs are is definitely something that we want to be able to share and network with in here as well. So yeah, thank you everybody for running through that agenda and also taking the time to introduce yourselves. And Amanda, should we go ahead and hand it over?
Yeah, thank you. And I'm going to help a little bit with some time management and facilitation here, but want to thank again everyone for joining the partnership meeting. And now we transition a bit. We'll have a few short presentations, about 12 minutes or so each. So great opportunity to listen and absorb and learn. And then we'll have about 30 minutes for discussion, great dialogue, questions. So we do ask that as you participate that you keep your microphone muted. If you're able to stay on camera, please keep your camera on. It's much nicer to present to people when you can see faces rather than just names. But we understand if you have to turn your camera off. If you have any questions, please drop them into chat. I will be monitoring the chat and will help facilitate the Q&A dialogue after the presentations. So feel free to stay active in chat during those presentations. And we will hold all questions till the end. So if you don't want to drop them into chat, make a little note to yourself, and then we will have plenty of time for Q&A at the end. But I think that's our housekeeping. We want to be respectful of time, so we'll be sure to wrap up by 11. And Madeline, I think you were going to start us off with your presentation on the pre-apprenticeship program. So I will turn it over to Madeline. She's going to do some screen sharing. We are still recording the meeting. So just as a reminder for that, that is just for the purpose of record keeping and making this available for people who are not connected with us here this morning. So Madeline, I think we're all set for you to take the reins and share your presentation.
Great. Thank you, Amanda. And thank you again to the Colorado Tree Care Sector Partnership for just giving us the time and space to present today. We really appreciate it. Let me share my screen really quick. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay. And can everyone see that screen okay? Awesome. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so like I said, hey everyone, welcome to our pre-apprenticeship info session with the park people. Thanks again to the Colorado Tree Care Sector Partnership for giving us this time and space to talk about our program today. And thank you all for being here. We're really excited to have you. I think it's been a great turnout today, so thanks for being here. My name is Madeline Hooker. For those of you who don't already know me, I'm the Urban Forestry Workforce Development Manager with the Park People. Just quickly, for those of you who aren't familiar with us, the Park People is a 52-year-old nonprofit organization in Denver that works with communities to plant trees and improve parks for a healthy, resilient future. Park Legacy, Community Forester, Mile High Tree Champions, and Denver Digs Trees are 4 essential and ongoing urban forestry projects. And over the past 35 years, we've been able to provide over 60,000 trees to Denver's residents at a free or affordable cost. As you'll see with our workforce development program, we've decided to kind of expand our reach and really seek to address the need for qualified employees across the tree care sector and urban forestry field more broadly. So this program will really be an important way we can try to fill a crucial niche and help meet the needs of the sector and in our local communities as well. So the first item on our schedule today, like Amanda said, will be a short presentation from me, just giving an overview of the pre-apprenticeship and discussing the role that you all could play in that program. And then we'll be hearing from Candace from Second Chance Center, who will briefly discuss fair chance hiring. And then we'll dedicate the time at the end, as Amanda mentioned, to answer any questions that you will have and just kind of have an open discussion about the program and next steps. And Lindsay is going to be putting a link to a form in the chat if you'd like to sign up for a one-on-one call with me after this meeting to talk about our program or how you could be involved. So make sure to fill that out if you would like. So pre-apprenticeship programs, for those of you who aren't super familiar with them, provide support tailored to the needs of specific groups to prepare them to enter and succeed in an apprenticeship program. And they train in the skills, confidence, and connections needed to be successful in a particular industry. So some of the key elements of pre-apprenticeship programs include connection and facilitated entry into an existing apprenticeship program. So in our case, the Colorado Arborist Apprenticeship through Front Range Community College and the Colorado Tree Care Sector Partnership. Another element is creating an approved training and curriculum. So we'll be collaborating with American Forests as well as the Arborist Apprenticeship to seek out feedback and approval from partners on our training and how we can make it better. And providing opportunities to receive industry recognized credentials is another important element of pre-apprenticeship programs. So we are planning for participants to receive certifications in Introduction to Arboriculture Safety offered by the TCIA and Chainsaw Safety through OSHA. But please let me know if there are any other industry recognized credentials you think should be included here. You could also just drop those in the chat. There's another key element. So our program will be creating and providing career ladders and salary information. We'll also be planting and pruning and providing training specifically in tree care skills through our inventory of Denver Digs trees. And then through support from additional employer partners, we'll be helping to provide hands-on opportunities, demonstrations, things like that. And the final element of pre-apprenticeship is support services for participants. So for this pilot year, we are partnering with Second Chance Center to connect justice involved or formerly incarcerated members of the community with career paths in urban forestry. So Second Chance will be playing an integral role in creating a thriving ecosystem of support for pre-apprentices, and a few of the wraparound services that they'll provide include housing assistance, hot meals, counseling services, one-on-one career management services, and some transportation. And Candace will be available at the end to answer any questions that you all have about that as well. So the Park People's Pre-Apprenticeship Program will be an 8 to 9 week program that will run from August through September of 2022. We decided on these dates because they align nicely with the fall planting season and the start date of the Arborist Apprenticeship in November. And our first cohort of 10 pre-apprentices will be working full-time, paid $15 an hour through the duration of the program by the park people as the employer. We'll be providing hands-on classroom instruction and work-based learning in tree care and urban forestry more broadly. And through partnership with Second Chance, as I mentioned, we'll be providing extensive wraparound services to really make sure that participants are fully supported throughout this program. So I'm now going to introduce some of the eligibility requirements for our program and get into some of the nitty-gritty details of that. Just so you all know, since you're insiders in this field, this is a really important part of the program to have your input in. And we're still in the process of finalizing these requirements for the program. So some of these are probably subject to kind of change, or we might add some, but we'd love to hear your feedback on this. And a few of these that we have listed so far include enjoying working outdoors, the ability to lift 30 pounds, either having or able to obtain a driver's license by September 1st, which is halfway through our program, having access to reliable transportation, ability to pass a Fair Chance employer background check, which will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis, and then the ability to pass periodic drug screening and proof of vaccination status. So in our pre-apprenticeship program, one of our really key objectives is to provide career exploration opportunities for participants all across the sector of urban forestry. So in addition to tree care, this also includes seedling production, tree planting, municipal forestry, and urban wood reuse. And then of course, as I said, private tree care. So we're really working on connecting with partners all across these different areas to provide a full picture of the industry as a whole and just the different opportunities available for participants upon completion of the program. So this pre-apprenticeship program will be based on industry recognized standards and will mirror the American Forest Pre-Apprenticeship Guide material, which is a really credible and comprehensive body of information related to career success in urban forestry. Drawing off of the ISA Certified Arborist Exam Study Guide, the curriculum content will fall under two overarching categories: career readiness training and forestry related skills. So the career readiness training includes topics like showing up to work on time, public transportation and planning ahead, and how to pack lunch on a budget. And as we mentioned before, joining us today are Tiffany and Ebony from American Forests, who can answer more questions about this during the Q&A section. And they're just such a wonderful resource to have here, and we really appreciate them being here today. So feel free to ask any questions you have about that. And then the forestry related skills content will include topics like tree biology, planting, pruning, health, pests and disease, climbing ropes, and safety. And the park people will be working closely with the Colorado Arborist Apprenticeship to just make sure that this curriculum is sufficient in setting up participants for success to enter that program if they choose to do so. And we'll welcome feedback from employer partners about this curriculum and be in touch with ways to contribute to developing that further. In order for pre-apprenticeship programs to be successful, they have to connect with a diverse array of partners. And arguably the most important component of the program is employer partners. And they in particular serve a really critical role in pre-apprenticeship training. These partners increase the value of these types of training programs through providing their expertise in the field, creating a network of support for participants. They may contribute to curriculum development, provide training opportunities and spaces to train for participants. They may hire hire interview graduates of the program upon completion, and then help persuade other employers to be involved in the program as well. So employer partners really have the potential to take our program from a great to exceptional level. And there are numerous benefits for employer partners to be involved in pre-apprenticeship programs. These types of training programs have been proven to decrease turnover rates by as much as 50% in some programs for employer partners because they screen and train employees ahead of time. So we'll be providing employer partners with on-the-ground access to the program curriculum and training so they can provide feedback and input for what they'd like to see taught. And then we can assume some of that responsibility of training for them. And participants will really leave our pre-apprenticeship program with a stronger understanding of the type of work they'll be doing in the jobs they're entering beforehand. So that way they can choose a different path if they'd like without employer partners having to go through the trouble of onboarding a short-term employee, if that makes sense. And pre-apprenticeship programs are catered towards women, people of color, and other underrepresented groups in the field. So they really seek to increase workforce diversity across the sector, which leads to really tangible business benefits. According to Jobs for Future, businesses with higher gender diversity generate up to 14% more revenue, and companies in the top quartile for gender and racial or ethnic diversity are at least 15% more likely to have financial returns above the national industry median. Employer partners also will receive priority access to program graduates to be interviewed or hired upon completion of the program, and the Park people will support these program graduates who are hired by employer partners in applying to the Colorado Arborist Apprenticeship. So our support will not end when these folks graduate. And finally, we aren't charging employer partners for this pilot year. So this is a really great opportunity for you all to be involved in the benefits of partnership at no monetary cost to you, and potentially really saving money on training in the future. I just want to reiterate here that we are looking for your feedback in this process. And this is kind of how we see employer partnership going at this point in time. And this is definitely subject to change, and we're really open to hearing what you'll have to think about this. So at this point, our program is thinking of offering two types of partnership for employers. The Tier 1 partners will provide more of an individualized exploration opportunity. So they'll be taking on 1 to 3 pre-apprentices 1 day a week, each week for the duration of the program, for more of a recurring hands-on career exploration experience. So we're still deciding if we want to keep participants at one job site for the full program, or try to create 2 internships, each lasting like around 4 weeks, just for more exploration opportunity. And we've heard feedback from people that we've talked to that it may be beneficial for us to have 2 internships so that our partners can have multiple experience to compare to, rather than just one to define, the whole industry, just because we know that each, tree care business has a different culture and different ways that they do things. And we just think that would be really valuable. So these partners would ideally be based in Denver or accessible via public transportation, but we're considering including stronger partners outside of this boundary if they can take on 2 or 3 pre-apprentices. And then Tier 2 partners will be providing more of a large group exploration opportunity. So they'll offer our entire group of 10 pre-apprentices a demonstration, a site visit, kind of like a shadow afternoon, or other types of one-time learning opportunities. And these partners can be based in the greater Denver area, and we can kind of have more of a field trip type experience for those if needed. And then we're assuming here that all of our employer partners will be able to help with our mock interview day at the end of the program, and will be interested in offering our participants interviews or hopefully hiring them upon completion of the program. So overall, the Park People's Urban Forestry Pre-apprenticeship program provides career readiness and tree care skills training in the greater Denver area. Filling the gap in the urban forestry workforce, we will connect employers to pre-screened hires by training underserved community members in meaningful career paths in urban forestry. And I just wanted to say that we are super excited to be continuing these conversations with you all about this pre-apprenticeship program. Your contributions and attendance at this event mean a lot to us, so thank you. And don't forget to sign up for a one-on-one meeting with me with the sign up link in the chat, or put any questions that you have in the chat for the Q&A at the end, and we'd be happy to talk about those. And that's all that I have for now. So thanks for listening. And now I think we'll be hearing from Candace, who will have a chance to introduce herself.
Quickly, as Candace gets her slides up, Madeline, are you able to share your slide deck with the partnership that we could make available both for people on the call today, but also those who can't participate?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to do that.
Perfect. Thank you. If you can send that to both me and Nikki, we'd appreciate it.
That's not the screen I want. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Excellent. Thank you, Madeline. Great job. We're so excited to be here and have the opportunity to share more with all of you. And my name is Candace. I am the Director of Career Pathways for Second Chance Center. And can you all see my screen? Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Amanda. So who are we? Second Chance Center was founded in 2010 by Hassan Latif and following 18 years of incarceration. And he recognized that there was significant opportunities to improve reentry services. He has since written a book called Never Going Back, 7 Steps to Staying Out of Prison, which has really changed the approach that many reentry providers use to dramatically reduce recidivism rates. SCC is the largest and most effective reentry program in Colorado, and we'll share some data with you soon to support that. We offer a full array of wraparound services that we believe are critical to individuals never going back to prison. And that you'll see here on the slides entails anything from mental health care to substance use disorder support, individual service plans that are led in partnership with our care management team. About 75% of the individuals here at Second Chance Center are formerly incarcerated. So they're living role models of how individuals can successfully reintegrate back into our communities. We meet not just basic needs, but we also help individuals shift their cognitive thinking, their behaviors to ensure that they do not go back. We provide support around housing, transportation, mentorship, all which we believe are critical to setting our clients up for success. So when we talk about the apprenticeship readiness, what do we believe we can do? Well, we can create a pipeline of qualified, vetted candidates for those open entry-level positions and apprenticeship programs. We're going to increase diversity of your workforce and increase your retention rates. Second Chance Center is going to serve 1,800 individuals in the next year. 1,200 of those individuals, when we connect with them, are unemployed or underemployed. This is an untapped workforce that needs to work, that wants to work, and is looking for opportunities, not just for a job, but to build a career. And with the wraparound services that we provide them, we know that we can set them up to be successful in these new positions. So if we look at registered apprenticeship programs, what do we know? Well, we know that there's impressive individual outcomes. Individuals that are in apprenticeship programs after being released from prison are going to earn $300,000 more on average in their career. For every dollar.
Candace, sorry to interrupt you. I'm concerned that maybe we are not seeing your right screen. So great talking points. I think we are seeing only the Second Chance Center title screen that is in your Adobe is what we're seeing.
Okay, let's see here. Well, thank you for telling me. Yes, I've been just going through multiple screens here.
No, that's okay.
Let's see why you're not seeing it. Let me close out of here.
And it may work best if you actually stop sharing.
Okay.
And go to share screen and actually pick up the PowerPoint program.
Let's see here. No, it's not allowing me to share. It says I don't have sharing options anymore.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make you the host.
Oh, here we go. I think it's letting me now. So let's try this. Amanda, any luck there? Are you seeing it now?
No, we're not seeing any screen sharing. If you want to email me your presentation, I'm happy to screen share it from my computer.
All right, let's do that. My apologies.
No, that's okay.
I don't want
I'm
to
gonna-
delay the presentation here.
No, you're doing great. I'm going to drop my email into the chat. You can grab it.
Perfect.
And then I will pull it up for you and we'll just jump right back in.
Excellent. I've got it. Thank you. Okay, Amanda, it's on its way to you.
Thank you.
You bet. And when we get there, let me know when you are ready.
Yep, pull it up as soon as it arrives.
Perfect.
Has not landed in my email yet, but I'm keeping a close watch.
Okay. It always takes longer when we're waiting and have an audience, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
It says it was sent, so give it a second. If not, we'll move on without the PowerPoint. I'm happy to circulate it to the group. I can, Amanda, if you'd like to circulate it after the meeting.
That
Happy to
sounds
do
good.
that.
It
I just
did-
want to be respectful.
Yeah, thank you. It did just arrive as a PDF, but I'm able to help
Excellent.
advance the slides.
Perfect.
I will do that.
So if we can just start at Second Chance Center wraparound care.
There we go. Does everyone see
Some of
that
those
slide
wraparound.
on their screen?
Make that larger for the group.
Sure.
Looks like
Is that
we've
better?
got. I don't know if any, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. So once again, the wraparound services that we offer are listed here, which we know are critical to individuals, reducing the likelihood of going back to prison. Next slide. So once again, apprenticeship readiness training allows us, in partnership with the park people, to create a pipeline of qualified and, most importantly, vetted candidates for open entry-level positions and apprenticeship programs. We will help increase the diversity of your workforce and also increase retention rates long-term for your organization. Next slide. So once again, we know that there are particular outcomes that are very compelling for employers to consider fair chance hiring and partnering with apprenticeship readiness programs. Individuals that are reentering our society that are part of a registered apprenticeship program are going to earn $300,000 more during the life of their career. There's also impressive business outcomes. For every dollar that is spent on apprenticeships, employers are getting an average of $1.47 back in increased productivity. And we also know that there's impressive community benefit, $28 in benefits for every dollar invested by our government we're seeing in returns. Next slide. So there's a lot here, but I think this is the data that I really want to share with those of you that are considering fair chance hiring. When people leave prison, they experience unemployment at a rate of 4 to 7 times the general population, which impacts all of us in the community. 33% of working age Americans have a criminal background, which is equal to the same percentage of our population that have college degrees. 8,000 to 10,000 people are released every year from prison. We know that high recidivism rates mean there is more crimes in our community. There's a continued cycle of incarceration that continues through multiple generations and has a significant impact on our economy. We also know that there is a result of a loss of tax revenue and reduced workforce when individuals are going back. The average cost per incarcerated person is $50,000 a year in Colorado. Second Chance Center clients have a less than 4% recidivism rate compared to the state average of 50%. By reducing recidivism in Colorado, the savings are enormous. If we just reduce recidivism rates by 10%, taking it from 50% to 40%, which is equivalent to 400 individuals per year, there is a cost savings of $18.8 million annually. And we know we can do better than that. If you look at 25% reduction, which we are already doing with Second Chance Center clients, that has an impact of $47 million in annual savings. We know that there is $78 to $87 billion that we can impact in the gross national product just by just as a result of excluding formerly incarcerated people from the workforce. So gross national product is reduced by nearly $87 billion if we don't put these individuals back to work by decreased productivity. When people leave prison, they experience an unemployment rate, once again, of 4 to 7 times, meaning that we have individuals that want to work, are dedicated to a career, and are just looking for employers to give them a chance. We know that fair chance employers believe that not every conviction should be a life sentence after paying one's debt to society, and that one should have every opportunity to succeed and to contribute. And that's it for me, Amanda. I do have my contact information on the next slide. And I'm happy to answer any questions offline or one-on-one if you're interested in connecting with me directly on fair chance hiring initiatives, or working directly with us in helping us to meet any of your workforce needs. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome. And I did grab your contact information off your slide. I dropped it into chat. And I just got an alert that my internet connection is unstable. So hopefully you all are able to hear me without me being too frozen. Does anyone have any questions either for Candace regarding fair chance hiring, or we can go back to Madeline as well and chat through the pre-apprenticeship? Josh, I see your hand. If you want to unmute yourself and ask, go for it.
Yeah, I had 2 questions that occurred to me. One, I guess, Candace, I'm curious. I think of other programs, like there's a fella, Alex Smith in Baltimore with the Baltimore Tree Trust, that he himself was previously incarcerated. And while he was incarcerated, he actually was able to participate in a horticultural program. So that qualified him with some skills that got him working. And now he owns a landscape business that employs previously incarcerated people. Are you doing anything with other skills where you're actually working, inside of the prison system for training? Is anything happening there? And then the other question I had is for Madeline. I was talking to someone that has a 16-year-old who's being emancipated. And I'm just curious about, aligning pre-apprenticeship with someone like that. So those are my 2 questions.
Josh, great questions. Thank you. We are working closely with Dean Williams, the executive director of the Department of Corrections, to take our programming inside. COVID slowed us down, as you can imagine. And so we are just beginning to to get back behind the wall. And so we intend on taking as much programming as we can inside and beginning the training 6 months to a year before they leave to make that a smoother transition. If I could also just mention, because I think this is critical, we are also developing workforce housing in connection with that. So we have a contract with DOC right now where we have residential homes where individuals that are participating in these types of programs can live, learn, and earn together. And we can continue to remove barriers. For the time frame that they are participating in an apprenticeship program like this, they would not be required to pay any rent. And then once they're working, we can then set up individual plans around their housing cost with the ultimate goal to continue to remove barriers to ensure success in long-term apprenticeship programs. So we're moving that way, Josh. If it were up to us, we'd already be doing it, but hopefully, when the COVID numbers can, get to a point where we can get inside, we will do that. And a lot of what we do, in addition to these hard skills, are the essential skills, problem solving, communication, all those essential soft skills, expectations in the workplace that people need to be successful. And Madeline, did you want to take the second question?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Thanks for that, Josh. I would say that for this pilot year, just because, we're just starting out, we are limiting ourselves to adults for our recruitment phase, but we are really hoping to expand that in the future. And I think working with youth is something that we've been engaging in a lot of conversations about. We've been working a little bit with Malachi Youth Corps to kind of brainstorm and see how we could work closely with them. And we've had conversations about even having our, first cohort kind of working with them and then potentially being able to recruit through them in the future. So I think working with youth is a future goal of ours, even if we can't do it this first year. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Josh, for those questions. It looks like Mike has a question. Mike, if you want to unmute yourself.
Actually, I have two things. 15% of Old Growth Tree Services business model is working for the government on national fires. And so we actually have worked in 8 states across the Western United States this year. And the feedback that I received from my employees is that the incarcerated individuals that are given the opportunity to work on the firefighting efforts on these national events, they're the group that all of my employees want to work with. And so just some feedback there that if there's ways to get involved that way. The only thing that I see in that is providing predictability for individuals and stability. We as a company always provide a guaranteed hours range, but I think when you start to travel and when you start to get into fire zones, I mean, you're there for 21 days, you take 2 days off, and then you go and you move to another fire location. So predictability and stability is very important, I think, in our organizations. And then secondly, I don't want to step out of line from the standpoint of like feedback for Madeline and tree people and kind of cohorts and apprenticeships and stuff. But I would really look into the Tree Care Academy's Tree Care Specialist program. They really focus on biology, soils, support, cabling, supporting, pruning, and I think it would really line up with what the park industry does from the standpoint of full tree care with all avenues of arboriculture and not just going the direction of, because in my eyes, plant health care is so important for education.
And I can thank you for that, Mike. And I can just add to that the Arborist Apprenticeship manuals that TCIA developed were developed from the Tree Care Academy. So those two, and I don't know, Brian Dalton, if you have anything to say, but those two Yeah, the corollary to that we use is the Arborist Apprenticeship Manual that was developed from that as well. So yeah.
Yeah, Josh, they're of the same source. We updated all of that for the apprenticeship related learning piece. And now we are reworking that content to update our Tree Care Academy stuff as we move to online courses as well.
Great. And I do want to kind of jump in here and allow Ebony Hall with American Forest to take a minute to share a brief intro into the curriculum. Ebony, I know you have a limited time with us. You've just got a few minutes. Would you like to unmute and share a little bit with the group about that curriculum? And we'll get back to Q&A after Ebony.
Sure. So I worked with my colleague, Tiffany, to develop the pre-apprenticeship curriculum. It focuses on career readiness and also some of those technical skills that we think youth should definitely be exposed to and have an opportunity to learn some of those skills. So we kind of did a tag team where Tiffany was over the work readiness portion, and she did an excellent job of providing information from creating a resume, being able to communicate with team members, being able to utilize some of those skills, or being able to talk to youth about how to create or how to make a lunch that will allow them to be productive, preparing a healthy lunch to allow them to have the energy to perform throughout the day. And so it was great working with a number of people from TCIA, also from ISA and other local partners that we have throughout the nation, and working with them to support this this pre-apprenticeship program. And it's great to have the different resources that are also linked in this pre-apprenticeship curriculum. It's also based on, Tiffany developed a outline or a sample schedule, because the curriculum can be anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks. So it depends on your preference and how someone wants to reach the youth that they're working with. And so with that, you're able to customize the schedule based on some of those career readiness and technical skills that are available in the pre-apprenticeship curriculum. And some of those technical skills that are covered in the curriculum are doing tree ID, definitely a lot of safety protocols, and being able to identify some safety procedures while out at a job site. So it was great working with Tiffany to produce this material. I'm very excited to hopefully soon have it released to the public, but I'll also allow Tiffany to give some information as well, if she'd like to.
Yeah, thanks, Ebony. Amanda, would you mind if I shared my screen? I can actually give you guys a quick preview as to what this looks like to just really envision what we're talking about. I know Ebony said youth, but this is actually for anyone like who's running pre-apprenticeship programs that are not excluded to any specific age group. And we're really excited about it because we do think that it's going to be really adaptable and something that a lot of folks can use. There we go. I was like, where's my share screen?
Yep, you should have powers now. And if you want to
Great.
keep it just to maybe 5 minutes, just so we have time for
Yes,
Q&A.
yes, I'll definitely do that.
Great, thanks.
So I just wanted to give you a visual so you can understand what it is that we're looking at here. And we are going to be releasing this very, very soon. And it's going to be free to the public. Anyone can use it. Anyone can adapt it. Anyone can just use parts of it. You know, folks even who are not even looking into just doing arboriculture, but wanting to do any other sort of pre-apprenticeship curriculum could like borrow pieces of this too. And so let me, so as Ebony was saying, you know, there's an overview to kind of explain what pre-apprenticeship programming is like and talking through the objective. And then there's the two sections. There's the work readiness section and then the arboriculture skills section. Ebony called out some really great training sessions that we have that we're really excited about. And the ones that I know that Madeline mentioned as well, like healthy eating on a budget. This is something that when I designed a pre-apprenticeship program in Pittsburgh, I realized that a lot of our folks didn't know how to bring a lunch every day. And that was becoming really problematic for our employer partners. And so including a session that's really explicit to that was something that we thought would be crucial. How to plan for your workday, how to plan your public transportation, appropriate and inappropriate workplace behaviors, how to talk to your supervisor, how to do all of these different things. And so and they are live links that you can click through as you're going through. And, you know, we have like sample little activities that we can, you know, that you can use as well. And these arboriculture skills section really came from folks in the industry who are not just from the association level, but also employers and other practitioners across the country who were telling us what it is that they want to see in this. And that's where that came from. We didn't just come up with it on our own. A lot of it's based on the arboriculture apprenticeship program, like year one, as we were saying, to make sure that folks are going to be prepared for that step. Let's see. Just giving you a quick view. And then here's the sample 8-week schedule for folks who are interested in just seeing how it can be put together. As Ebony said, it can be 6 to 10 weeks. This is just an 8-week version in case folks are wanting to know, like, how would I order this? How would I make this happen? So all of this training sessions have hour ranges. And this is in order for us to say, like, if you only have 6 weeks, then do the minimal number of hours for this session. So we're trying to make it really user-friendly so that way folks can adapt it in whatever way that they have and whatever capacity that they have. And then there are other programming resources on how to become an official designated pre-apprenticeship program. And then all of the links are also noted here fully in case folks are not able to click on those links. They're listed out as well. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that because we're really excited about it. And, you know, it'll be released very soon, probably within the next week or so on our website. And, you know, our partners will probably get additional emails as well. But I sent it to the park people because we've been talking about it a lot. And so they have it in their hands and are free to take it and run with it.
Great. Thank you so much, Ebony and Tiffany, for sharing. That is impressive stuff. Josh has a comment. Josh, you want to jump on?
Sure. I just thank you so much for sharing that. That's awesome to see and excited for when you release that. And, you know, one of the realities of our profession, just because there's very little restriction to entry to do tree work, is people that are professional are also like hyper aware of visuals, or like how we're being presented. And I couldn't tell from that first photo or not with the guy making the chainsaw cut. It wasn't clear if it looked like he was wearing chaps or not. And so that's definitely something that professionals in our organization, especially field professionals, will, you know, hit them, you know, and they'll feel the need to like call that out. So I would just, in terms of, I'm just giving you some feedback, is like just making sure that any photos that are used are compliant with ANSI standards that our industry uses. So like if somebody's making a chainsaw cut, hearing protection, eye protection, and, you know, chaps or chainsaw pants. So
yeah, I mean, I was concerned about that too. And I ran it by one of our arborists and they're like, oh, it looks great. And so, I mean, I will definitely run it by more people. We literally had to change the cover again because there's just so many things with making sure that the photos are just right. But, you know, I can certainly see what other folks think about that.
Yeah, just my impression. So thanks.
The partnership could help with a photo shoot too, if you need some.
If anyone has any great
photos.
photos they want us to use, please let us know. It's really hard to find the cover photo. So if anyone has a really great action shot that they want to use, seriously, let me know. I can drop my
Tiffany,
email in
would
the
you
chat.
mind? Yeah, drop your contact information in the chat. And actually a resource library like that might be a great task for the partnership to take on to make sure that, again, those industry standards are showcased on all materials. So thank you.
Yes, please, please, please send them my way if you have anything.
Great work, though. Again, really impressive. I love the full wraparound approach. I think a lot of industries need to cover a lot of those basic life skills and workplace skills. So exciting to see that approach. We do have about 10 minutes left for additional questions for the park people, for Madeline, also for Fair Chance Hiring. Any additional questions, you can raise your Zoom hand through your Zoom emotions, or you can unmute yourself and just jump on.
I'll seize a quiet moment here just to interject a little bit. First of all, thank you again, everybody, for all of this great information and partnership talk. We're so excited to have all these great faces here and to hear from Candace at Second Chance Center and also Tiffany and Ebony at American Forest. Wanted to just mention too some things that Madeline reiterated in the presentation, that a lot of this is information and that we're looking for active input on those tier 1 and tier 2 employer partnerships and how we've defined them and how you all think that you could perhaps partner best with us and anything that we're not hitting on there. And also mention that while we are starting this year with, I feel like no one can hear me, everyone's like, with Second Chance Center and Justice Involved folks and 18 and up, we are looking to broaden our horizons and keep that funnel wide as we move forward in subsequent years. And so always interested in learning more about ways to partner with youth and other demographics as well. So any feedback on that is welcome and accepted.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you for your participation in the partnership. Always great to have you here. Zach, it looks like you have a question.
No, I just wanted to say, being at the Colorado State Forest Service, something that we're seeing that is lacking is the position of growers for Colorado native plants. Just with knowing stratifications, scarifications, things along those lines, there just isn't. Something I'm noticing is there's not a tie between horticulture and forestry natural resources. So that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to jump in here, is to start opening up those doors for folks that wanted to learn more about growing. So I just wanted to say to all of you, thank you for allowing me to be here. I had to jump off for a minute, but we're here as a resource for all of you. So no matter what happens moving forward, if you all have any questions for me or anything like that, or, pre-treatments on seeds or something like that, feel free to reach out to me, and just thanks for hosting this today.
Thank you, Zach. Would you mind dropping your contact information into the chat just so we can be sure to capture it, not only for the good of the group today, but also to connect you with the partnership moving forward?
Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks. Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just ask this question. Maybe I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit. But so like for me, I run a small tree care company up in northern Boulder County. So I'm outside of the Denver metro area. I guess my two questions are, how can I be of support, and also what's in it for me? I think those are two good questions that, I'm asking myself.
Madeline, do you want to jump in on that, or?
I could jump in, and then if you have anything to follow up with that. That's a great question, Josh. I think something we've kind of been struggling with a little bit is how to really meaningfully involve partners outside of the Denver metro area, especially with potential limitations on transportation. Like if we could have an entire cohort that all have driver's licenses and access to a vehicle or reliable transportation, that would be awesome. But at this point, we are just kind of erring on the side of caution and not sure how that's going to look. So I think that's also something that we've been kind of thinking about and working with a little bit. I do know that we will hopefully be having access to a van, and so we can potentially transport some folks up to, you know, Boulder area, and hopefully staying within, you know, an hour or so commute. But that's definitely something somewhat feasible for us. I think to answer what's in it for you, you know, we've kind of been touching on that during all of our presentations. You know, having access to a pre-screened and trained applicant pool. I mean, I know you said that you're having some things change around in your organization and might be looking to hire, might be looking to diversify your workforce and have a female leader on your team. And that's definitely where we could come in, you know, and be of support. I don't know if Lindsay or Kim have anything to add there.
I think you totally summed up some of the points that I was going to say, Madeline. So thanks. Josh, we'd love to have you involved on that sort of tier 2 level, if at all possible, to organize a shadow day with your company, to have you involved perhaps in looking at the curriculum, and also maybe in teaching a unit or coming down to, you know, where we'll be training and leading a demonstration. So all those would be really wonderful ways that we could see teaming up with you and really using your expertise. As far as, you know, what's in it for you beyond what Madeline said, I think as part of the apprenticeship program, you know, one of our goals is really to both pre-screen and widen that funnel. And so hopefully direct more people into the apprenticeship that already know what they're getting themselves into. And so hopefully are there with good intention and eyes wide open, and will stay throughout the program.
And I'll just build on what Madeline and Lindsay said too, that also the Park People has been in dialogue with a number of organizations it is still sort of a metro area, but Boulder metro area. And I think the conversation is applicable to other parts of the state too, just about what needs to happen on the levels of planting and care for our forests throughout our communities. And so I think that a lot of what we're trying to do, we're also thinking in terms of how can we scale this up in future years? How can we engage with more partners in different ways? And also, how can we, what we're doing, serve as a model for other organizations elsewhere too? So I think that, you know, in the spirit of partnership, we want to be building what we're doing and also making that usable in other places. So that's just one thing to also be keeping in mind.
Cool. Thanks to all three of you for speaking to that. Or Candace, I don't know if you wanted to say something.
I've just got something really quick from a workforce development perspective. We, as I mentioned, are going to have roughly 1,200 individuals here at Second Chance Center in the next year that we identify as unemployed or underemployed. And we are being extremely intentional in helping our clients to develop career pathways. And so when Kim, Madeline, Lindsay, and I sat down, we didn't say, oh, we can put 100 people through this program. We started and said, let's be really intentional and find 10 people that we know. We've spent at least 3 to 6 months with them here at Second Chance Center, stabilizing them and removing barriers to their success, and then put them through an intensive pre-apprenticeship program. To Madeline's point, by the time they're done with that, you're not going to get a better qualified or vetted candidate that's never worked in the industry, that's willing to go in an entry-level position, right? And during that apprenticeship, that pre-apprenticeship readiness period, they're getting instant and immediate feedback, both from an employability standpoint as well as on the hard skills, so that when they show up, they're confident and ready to get to work. We're not going to graduate people from this program that we can't stand behind and that we're not confident or going to be good hires for your organization. The last thing I'll mention is that we're working directly with the workforce centers across Colorado to help reduce the risk and increase the return on investment investment for our employer partners through wage subsidy programs and tax incentives. And so if this is something that people are interested in, we can further reduce any risk that you may have in investing those initial training dollars through wage subsidy and tax incentives. And we're here to hold our employer partners' hands through that process and make it an easy process for them with each one of the hires.
Cool. Thank you for speaking to that, everyone that spoke to that question. Appreciate it.
We have just a few more minutes. I want to turn it back over to the park people. Thank you for letting the partnership be part of this meeting and event today. We've got a few minutes for closing comments from your team. So I'll turn it over to you. And again, we are recording, so we'll make this available for you all.
Thank you, Amanda, for facilitating this whole meeting. It was really great to have you all and hear some of your feedback. And I just want to emphasize that we'd love to continue those conversations and just kind of hear what you have to say. I think incorporating all of you as like experts in this field is a really important part of this program. So thank you for giving us the time and space to talk to you all today. And if you'd like, you can email me or sign up for a call with me with that link in the chat that Lindsay sent. Maybe we can share that once I also share like my slides as well. But thank you all for being here. Really excited to be working with you all.
Great, and I did drop that form link there at the bottom of the chat, so you don't have to scroll too far to find it. Madeline, thank you for your presentation. And Candace, appreciate your presentation as well. We will make those both available through the partnership mailing list. We are wrapping up just a few minutes early, so you get 2 minutes back to your day. Thank you all for being here, and we look forward to staying connected.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Good to see everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.